Muhammad's father was Abdallah, who died soon after his son's birth. At the age of 6, Muhammad lost his mother, and he was thereafter taken care of by his uncle. At the age of 25, he married a rich widow who was 15 years his senior. She bore him 6 children, all of whom died at a very young age except Fatima, his beloved daughter. Muhammad claimed direct descendants from Ishmael, and his family was the guardian of the sacred black stone or Kaaba. Now the Kaaba is still there in the big mosque in Mecca to this very day. The Muslims go on the Hajj, or a pilgrimage, and they kiss this black old stone. However, before there was ever Islam, the black meteorite stone was there for years, and they worshipped it as pagans. These people were very pagan, and Mecca was a city given over to idols, and their greatest object of worship was the moon god Allah. If you look at any Muslim flag today, such as the Egyptian, Pakistani, Turkish flags, they all have the crescent moon as the symbol. On his commercial journeys to Syria and Palestine, Muhammad became acquainted with and acquired an imperfect knowledge of Jewish and Christian beliefs and traditions. In his 40th year, in 612, Muhammad claimed to have a vision of an angel while praying in the mountains. This angel, who they claimed was Gabriel, told him to start the new religion of Islam. People will tell you today that Islam means a way of peace. Not so. It actually means the way of submission. Jesus warned us in Matthew 24 that false prophets would arise. Jesus actually told us where Muhammad would start his religion. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. It was in the desert that Muhammad got his revelation. He did not see the angel Gabriel as he claimed. He saw Abaddon, or Apollyon. He saw the destroyer. It was a demon operating and pretending to be Gabriel who brought the Koran to him. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. I hope this is not too difficult for you to understand the symbolism being used here. Let's continue with verse 2 of chapter 9. And he opened a bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. The smoke that arose out of the pit, as the smoke of the great furnace, was the false doctrine of the Koran. Those were the false teachings that the demon gave to Muhammad. Of course you may know the Koran denies the deity of the Lord Jesus. They say Jesus was a prophet, but according to Islam, Allah has no son. They deny that Jesus died on Calvary's cross and shed his blood for your redemption. They promise a paradise for Muslims that will satisfy every sensual carnal desire. Muslims are motivated to terrorism and to die for their faith because the Koran tells them that fighting non-believers is the duty of every Muslim. The only way to be certain of going to heaven is to die fighting for the cause of Allah. If they can make it to heaven, the reward is that all Muslims are promised 72 virgins each. And of course, the repression of women and the suppression of civil rights for women are notorious. Now verse 2 continues, The sun and the air were darkened by the reason of the smoke of the pit. The new religion of Islam darkened the sun, because Islam was and is a militaristic fighting conflict religion which seeks to advance its cause by military might and conquering its enemy. And thus Muhammad himself wrote, The sword is the key to heaven and hell. One drop of blood spilled on the battlefield, one night spent under arms, will count more than 2 months of fasting and prayer.